wasn't kosher. So, but I mean, see how their response. I had the same thing happen in McBride's, nice gun shop. I know a lot of guys that work there, but the guy got aggressive. He said, "Alex, I don't appreciate. I wasn't there buying a shotgun. I don't appreciate you lying about Bush being for the assault weapons ban." And I said, "It is." He's like, "Huh? It is, huh?" Because it's their false paradigm. What are you, some kind of liberal? And then the manager came over and said, "No, he's right. He's right. Alex is right." And the guy was like, "Huh?" But I mean, look at their response. "I'm gonna get you thrown out of here, boy. You don't tell me the NRA is a gun control group." Instead of him saying, "Show me proof, let's defend the Second Amendment." But I mean, so what did they do once they learned that you? Thank God you were a talk show host. They might have SWAT teamed you. What happened?
Well, he told me that I couldn't say that, and I said, "You asked me a question, and of course I'm a free American with a First Amendment right, and I can say what I want. You don't have to like it, but it's the truth, and you can't stop me from saying it." And of course, that's when they blew up. Of course, they couldn't handle that, but I'm just trying to engage the guy on a conversation. He asked me, he engaged me first, asking me why I wasn't a member, and I informed him why and pointed out the reasons why, and challenged him to, correct their errors in their ways in the past. And I said, if you guys would get on board with us, the Americans that are supporting the Second Amendment for what it was designed for, we'll support you. But until you do, I have no interest in being a part of your affiliation. So.
And what did he say then?
Well, I mean, that's basically when the guy got hostile, and the guy that looked like Jabba the Hutt, probably 450-pound guy, he's the one that said he was going to break bad and jump over the table and attack me and kick my butt. Of course, I'm 6'5", about 200 pounds, and not really worried about the guy, to be honest with you. But it was interesting, his tactic, his attack on me, that I had to shut up and leave, or they were going to kick my butt. And instead of discussing this civilly and maybe talking about their history, oh no, I didn't want to do that.
But see, notice he made the terroristic threat. I mean, that's punishable by jail time. I'm going to kick your butt. I'm going to physically assault you. I'm going to come over this table and kick your ass. And then you're sitting there, and then they go call and try to tattletale.
Right. The head of the sponsor, the people that were running the organization, and this fella, his thing is just to try to make peace. Okay, Mike, just stay away from them, and I'll tell them to stay away from you. Blah blah blah. I was going to get the guys to come on the simulcast and talk about what they're up to, and that never happened. That wasn't in their. But the funny thing is, this is interesting. I went to half of the people there that were gun dealers and vendors. None of them wanted to come on the radio because they were concerned about the government identifying them.
Oh, none. Yeah, because they harass gun shops and gun dealers that stand up for the Second Amendment. We're living in a climate of intimidation, and I run into the BATF. I mean, these guys look like real criminals. I mean, not guys trying to act like criminals. They were all about 6'2", muscular, shaved heads, goatees, tattoos, and they're just like, the times I run into them, I mean, they're like, "Damn right, we're bringing America down. You're right, yeah." And I mean, these people are sick, man. They are sick. I just want to kick them out of the country, man. I want to just take the country back and do exactly what George Washington did and say, "Look, leave the country."
One last thing, Alex. My second show, I had a local gun shop spend $10 on a single ad before the election. I said, "The election is Tuesday, today is Sunday, tomorrow's Monday, the only gun shop open," and I said the name of the gun shop. I said that 3 times in 1 minute. That was my slick ad. That was it. Monday, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms visited this dealer and said, "Why are you advertising in this show?" The area supervisor, the gun shop dealer, talked to him at the show. I hadn't talked to him since. He finally revealed to me the area supervisor for the BATF visited him, said, "Don't advertise anymore, or we'll pull your plug."
That's America. That's how. I mean, folks, that is what we're. Instead of that guy saying, "You know what? Well, no, you don't want to tell them then, or the BATF would have planted a hand grenade." "Oh, really?" Then probably blasted him right in the chest. I'm not kidding. I mean, they bombed Oklahoma City. It was the BATF did that. And we caught him red-handed. But the point here is he should have gone public. He should have made a big stink out of it and said, "I'm being politically persecuted." Then they wouldn't get within 100 miles of him. So, but I mean, let me guess. The gun shop is going to live in the Soviet Union. They're going to do what they're told and just wait to be shut down anyways.
He is the last gun shop in the small town of Covington, Tennessee. Brighton, Tennessee's got one. Millington's down to one. They're slowly. Mike's in Jackson, Tennessee, one of the largest and oldest, is gone. They're pulling the plug. They're going in, finding paperwork. Like you said, they're slowly destroying these people, and people aren't standing up And, of course, I go to court on the 30th of April. The guy that shot at me and my wife I told you about, I've been charged with aggravated kidnapping because I told him to drop his gun. So there we go.
What station are you on?
WLRM. I talked to you yesterday, 1380 in Memphis. And you inspired me so much. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm not a talk show host. I just got fed up. I did my research. You know, that's one thing I learned how to do in college is research, verify the facts. And you woke me up, Chief, and I guarantee you I'm on fire, and I'll go down fighting.
Well, you know, there's a lot of famous cases in Tennessee where the public has to throw out boss hog government. Tennessee, you know, it has got great people in it, but it's had a lot of boss. What's that famous case where the World War II vets came back and their whole town was run by thug cops?
The War of Athens, Tennessee.
Yeah, the War of Athens, Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly. But right now, everybody's asleep, or they're in the chilling effect that you talk about. That's the truth. People are afraid. They're afraid to speak out. They're afraid to do anything. It's pathetic.
Well, good to hear from you. I appreciate the call. I'm going to play a video clip and then get into some financial news. Analyzing, it's far worse than what the Associated Press is saying. Right over here on the screen on this. Pentagon PR spending raises propaganda concerns. What they mention is a fraction of Pentagon propaganda. The Pentagon is domestically engaging blogs. It's hired tens of thousands of private contractors to go out on blogs, say lies, threaten people. They spend billions of dollars in propaganda placement in movies and TV, not just the overt ads or three doors down video propaganda. And the Pentagon admits, yeah, we're propagandizing the American people. What's wrong with that? They're running psyops because the Pentagon doesn't work for the American people. The Pentagon works for the offshore banks that have hijacked this nation. Let's go ahead and play part of the clip.
Troops on the move. Guns blasting. It's what one first thinks of when it comes to the military, but now the Pentagon is expanding a third front. The Defense Department is ramping up its spending as it delves further into shaping public opinion around the world and at home.
This is a fight for the human terrain, means that being able to influence populations, to support government objectives.
Influence populations. The American people. We're supposed to influence the government. It's our government. But now I played that clip where they talked about martial law and the military and where their problem, how it's us against them. See, they're influencing. That's why you see the propagandas everywhere now. It's just brainwashing, and the Army recruiters and Marine recruiters threatening kids to arrest them if they don't sign the form to join. It's just criminal.
Not just U.S. objectives, but the objectives of the country that we're supporting in the fight against insurgents or terrorists.
It's a fight the Pentagon is taking seriously. In all, it's spending nearly $5 billion, with more than 27,000 people working to get its message out. However, some in Congress are questioning if it's also breaking the law by engaging in domestic propaganda.
I want to make sure that the taxpayers' money is not being used by government agencies for covert propaganda directed at American citizens in this country.
The programs in question are as wide-ranging as the military itself. A program called Hometown News is partly run out of this office in San Antonio. Here, staffers put together print, radio, and television stories that they send out to thousands of news outlets across the country.
Hi, I'm Corporal Christopher Pena. I'm coming to you live from Bahrain.
Some of it is as innocuous as...
Yeah, this is all a whitewash. I mean, it's fake stuff, TV ads, inside movies, propaganda, anti-gun statements they pay for, because they work for Wall Street that's offshore, that's busy looting the country. And it's Northcom's job to make sure the enslavement of the American people, the takeover by foreign corporations happens. And I told you that years ago. It's now on record, the Army War College. It's now on record, the Naval War College says their job is to secure the American people and make sure we go along with this, and to make sure the trillions every year in no-bid contracts go to the big defense contractors. But see, they produce all this fake news and then offer it free or pay to have it run on your local news, and you never know it was paid for. Go ahead and go back.
Holiday greetings from soldiers far from home and getting others to enlist. But others are stories that look like any other news item, and the public is not told it was produced by the military.
This is what we do for the civilian media, to put the good news out there and to spread that military word back to the hometowns where these guys and gals are from.
At Fort Bragg in North Carolina, soldiers work on...
What they're doing is taking over the United States. FEMA camps, civilian, General James L. Jones, National Security Council, with no congressional approval, is taking over every federal agency. That's the Washington Post. Here's Defense Link. And in here it mentions the military is now going to work with Homeland Security fighting gangs. That's here at the bottom. I mean, that's facts. I can't even cover all this, how bad it is. Like Nazi Germany, they're taking over. And they all buy their own Kool-Aid. These guys all buy their own Kool-Aid. Some experts believe it's only a matter of time before transnational terrorism organizations link up across the U.S. border. This is a concern for local, state, and federal emergency agencies, but given the expanded role of U.S. military domestic defense, it